Coming up.
Why can't we share?
I told you not to say anything. You can't go in there, brazenly flout the rules, and then think I'm going to share with you.
Don't break the rules, just bend them.
No, rules help us coordinate and stop us from exploiting each other.
But don't we sometimes have to use our discretion?
Aren't you going to take the check down?
Sorry, no. A store policy.
But it's your bodega.
Even I am not above the policy.
Doesn't discretion just mean one rule for you and another for me?
I am not an advocate of no rules.
Our guest is Barry Lam, author of Fewer Rules, Better People, The Case for Discretion.
I am an advocate of rules that are followable, comprehensible, and that leave room for people to make judgments in exceptional cases.
I just think it's a little unusual.
We're changing the rules.
Are rules meant to be broken?
Coming up on Philosophy Talk. Does our society have too many rules?
Or do we need more of them?
How can we strike a balance between anarchy and tyranny?
Welcome to Philosophy Talk, the program that questions everything.
Accept your intelligence. I'm Ray Briggs.
And I'm Josh Landy. We're coming to you via the studios of KLW, San Francisco Bay Area.
Continuing conversations that begin at Philosopher's Corner on the Stanford campus, where Josh teaches philosophy.
And the University of Chicago, where Ray teaches philosophy.
Today we're asking, are rules meant to be broken?
Well, of course they're meant to be broken. I mean, don't tell me you've never done 70 on a road that's 65.
That's not really breaking a rule. Every time there's a law, you've got a letter of the law, but then you've got the spirit. The letter of the law says, don't go any faster than 65, but everyone knows that really means 70. In fact, if the people around you are all doing 70, it can be unsafe to go under 65. The spirit of the law is to keep everyone safe, not to drive at some exact particular speed.
But if you do 70, you're literally breaking the law. That's what it says in the highway code. They can pull you over. They can give you a ticket.
Oh, so you're going to report me?
No, I'm not going to report you, Ray. I'm just saying that if you're only 5 miles above the speed limit, yeah, technically you're breaking the law, but I don't think you should get into trouble for it. If there's some traffic cop in the vicinity, that cop should probably use some discretion and let you go.
Yeah, but where does that line of thinking end? Like, if the police have infinite discretion, they could abuse it. They could give tickets just to people they don't like and let everybody else go on their merry way. Discretion is kind of a recipe for acting on bias.
All you need to do about that is train people not to be biased. Then, you can encourage them to use their discretion fairly.
Wait. You're saying that we should have rules about how to apply the rules? That doesn't sound like discretion anymore.
No, but I'm not talking about rules. I'm talking about judgment. Judgment isn't something you can write down like an instruction manual. It's a kind of know-how. It's something you get from experience.
Okay, but think about this. Suppose you're the kind of cop who targets people you don't like. The more experience you get, the better you get at targeting those people that you don't like. Why should we think that experience is going to solve the bias problem?
Geez, Ray, it sounds like you want us all to live in Kafka's world where everyone's a faceless bureaucrat shuffling papers around, and if they make a mistake and send you to jail, whoopsie, that's too bad.
Well, geez, Josh, it sounds like you want us to live in the world of Mad Max, where everyone takes the law into their own hands. Like if you've got a dispute, you settle it in the Thunderdome. No, actually, your proposal is even worse than the Thunderdome. At least the Thunderdome has rules.
Look, I never said we shouldn't have any rules. I just said we should have discretion when it comes to applying them. Ray, your example is actually a good one. Think about the world of sports more generally. You've got a referee, you got a rule book, but the ref is the one who gets to decide whether a given ball is in or out.
That's not true anymore. I mean, think about tennis. Just machines decide a lot of those calls, and everyone is better off for it.
Are we really better off, though, Ray? Come on, don't you miss John McEnroe yelling at the line judge?
Yeah, sports are fun and all, Josh, but the tennis court is not the court that really matters. Like, think about domestic violence statutes. Think about financial regulations. Think about immigration law. These things are not games, and the last thing we want is judges settling cases using their magic 8-ball.
I totally take your point, Ray. I mean, judges can't just be making stuff up as they go along. They need to be using their discretion wisely. But that's what I'm talking about, training up a generation of judges with genuine wisdom.
I bet our guest will have more to say about that. It's Barry Lam from UC Riverside, author of Fewer Rules, Better People, The Case for Discretion.
But first, how do we train people to be wise users of their discretion? Maybe we better start when they're young.
So we sent our roving philosophical reporter, Cheryl Kaskowitz, to talk to children about rules and hear the surprising things they have to say. She files this report.
Kids know a lot about rules, since almost every aspect of their lives is defined by them. So they seemed like the perfect experts to consult for this story. I asked a bunch of parents to interview their kids about rules and share what they had to say. There were certainly some critiques, like about rules at home.
On next scene, I am 9 years old, and one rule that I don't like and think is unfair is dishes brung to the sink after eating. Because kids learn by playing, and they need time to play.
My name is Jacob, and I'm 5 years old. The rule I don't like is not playing on my iPad. Other kids get to play on their iPads whenever they want, and I don't.
And even more about rules at school.
My name is Lila, and I am 8. A rule I don't like is having to go to school for 5 days. It's a really long time. It's like spending your whole day at a place. My name is Gabriel, and I'm 6 years old. I don't like that you can't bring toys to school.
My name is Ira, and I am 9 years old. In our music class, we're only allowed to ask questions at a certain time, but sometimes I'm really eager and I need to ask this. And our music teacher's just it gotta wait till the end. And it seems unfair to me.
So some rules are unfair, but most kids also understand the value of certain rules.
At my school, how we have you must be kind, safe, respectful, and responsible. That makes sense to me and is fair to me because it makes sense to respect people and be kind to people and be responsible with the school rules.
A rule that I like that I think is fair is sharing. So everybody gets a turn.
No shoes in the house because it brings bacteria into the house. That just is scary when you think about it.
It seemed like there was general agreement that some rules are better than others. But opinions differed on the question of whether it's okay for grown-ups to bend their rules for kids. There was a yes.
Because sometimes if we're supposed to have homework on Monday, the principal could tell the teacher that we can have the homework on Friday.
And an it depends.
If the rules are really bad and the person in charge thinks they should change it, then yes. But if the rules are respect people and the person in charge is don't respect people, do what you want, no.
Other kids said people in charge shouldn't ever bend their own rules.
No, because just change brings me anxiety.
Was they breaking a rule that they told everybody to follow, then they would be going against what they told everybody to do.
I also tried to talk to a group of 7th graders who were over at my house to get their feelings about rules. It was a little hard to get them to focus away from their video game and over the chatter from the adults in the other room. But one kid got pretty philosophical about the whole thing.
My name is Maddox. I think that rules are important sometimes, of course. So it's not like an anarchy world that would be chaotic. But I also think that some rules wouldn't be ethical for everyone. Sometimes rules are also a paradox where it benefits one person in one way and benefits another person in the other way, but then it is a problem for both in the same way.
So I think the experts agree. Rules are complicated, but necessary.
Imagine a world without rules. Cars would always pass the speed limit, and at school, kids will put hands on each other. Everybody will go to the nurse and stuff like that.
I don't really know what rule I like.
I think rules are good to follow most of the time.
Thanks to the panel of experts for weighing in, and to all of the parents for following my rules for interviewing. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Cheryl Kaskowitz.
Want to hear more? You can find the complete episode on iTunes Music, or for unlimited listening, become a subscriber at philosophytalk.org.